Happy Tuesday, everybody. I wanted to visit, and I wondered if you all thought what's better, using machines or dumbbells. And I thought I would share my opinion, and I open the floor up or the comments up for people to share their thoughts. Um, and first, let me say, strength training is a must. Like we all know that, and if you have love the machines, that's cool. But again, I just want to share my opinion. I'm not really a machine girl, and I'll explain why. And while it's true, like whether you're working with dumbbells or machines, they will work the same muscle. However, when you work with dumbbells, you're typically going to work more muscles because you need to stabilize yourself. Think standing shoulder press. Okay, yeah, I'm working my shoulders. I'm also working my traps, my triceps, my core to stabilize me as I lift that weight over my head, particularly if it's challenging me. If you're on the machine, there's a fixed range of motion of up and down, and it eliminates the need for you to stabilize yourself so you're not using those other muscles. And the fixed range of motion can be good or bad. If you're a beginner lifter, I think it's really good training to get that alignment and the feel of what the movement should feel like. But if you have muscle or joint impingement, the machine locking you into that strict range of motion can add more tension, more pressure on that joint. They don't allow like your body to naturally lift the way it would, particularly if there's an impingement. Um, Example, so I trained a gal. She was a breast cancer survivor and she had a lot of scar tissue when the breast was removed. And she got the okay to do shoulder presses from her doctor. And I know this is an extreme case. However, and we had to start super low. Well, when she did a shoulder press, she couldn't do proper alignment like this. Like her body wouldn't have let her do that. It caused pain, and it was due to the scar tissue and the changes, obviously, in her anatomy. So we had to start super low, and she actually had to lift it forward a little bit. Now, we did eventually get her. I remember the day she lifted, like, I think it was 8, 10 pounds. Like she started with nothing, or two, I don't remember. Anyway, all that to say, she couldn't have done that on a machine, and she couldn't have progressed to where she had the proper range of motion. Also, consider things like leg curls. I'm going to say these are my pet peeves. The problem with a leg curl is you are working your quadriceps only. That never happens in life. First of all, think, when in life do you ever function like that? When do you ever sit and just lift one leg up and down? It's not functional. And some coaches, I think it was Charles Poliquin who first pointed out that can lead to injuries. If you're training your quads and not the antagonistic muscle, the hamstring, that could be a problem. Now, I might use it if I was putting like a figure competitor on stage and there was some thing we had to correct in her physique. But for functional training, that wouldn't be my first choice. And certainly if you do them, make sure you do the same with the hamstring curl so you work both parts. But again, functionally, we don't use our quads without our hamstrings ever. I will put a caveat. I do love machines, particularly the cable machines, because they do allow more range of motion, and I do use the machines to work my back. Okay, for rows and pulls and all that. Always go to the machines because you can get a lot more resistance than a dumbbell typically. So in summary, I would say if you're beginners, start with machines, use lightweight. But if you're an intermediate or advanced exerciser, then I think your foundation should be dumbbells and then supplement with machines. If the machines are helping you in some way that you feel you need them to do the movement properly, there may be an imbalance or a weakness that we have to address so you can use the dumbbells to get the movement done properly. So, as I said, go ahead and post your thoughts in the comments. I would be curious to see what you think. And are you team dumbbell or team machine? I'll talk to you soon.